Oxford in the UK, a city that birthed a university over 900 years ago, that inspired authors like Chaucer in the 1400s, to Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, Lewis Carroll, Philip Pullman and Terry Pratchett. And it features in hundreds of books and films, more recently in Harry Potter and Wonka and the Amazon series Saltburn, to name a few. I've trawled through nearly 400 videos I've taken on my visits to bring you this collection of gorgeous, historic and cool, quirky stuff to see in Oxford. Just a quick interruption. Comment below if you like the groovy drone shot I did at the start of the video. I just learned how to do that. Tell me what you think. There's an awful lot to see and absorb. Trying to understand the university versus the town is an interesting thing, so I'm going to unpack a whole lot of that. I'm going to look in a whole bunch of the history, tell you some interesting stories, show you some ways to get around and some interesting stuff to do. A worship site for over 1,000 years, you can climb St Mary's 13th century tower for amazing views. There's lots of cool history here, including the wife of the Earl of Leicester, who died in a mysterious fall when he was rumoured to marry Elizabeth I, is buried here. There isn't actually an Oxford University campus. It's actually made up of more than 30 colleges that are all dispersed in buildings all throughout the city. This claims to be the first college, Balo College, founded over 760 years ago. Founded because John Balliol had abducted the Bishop Durham during a land dispute, and as penance he was publicly beaten and ordered to perform an act of charity to support scholars. So he built this college. This is the Divinity Chapel, and it is absolutely divine. This is the lamppost that you find in Narnia. Narnia fans may also find this familiar. C.S. Lewis used to walk past here daily because he worked at Balo College just around the corner. Looks like he might have been inspired. And why wouldn't you feel inspired working at Balo College? Just take a look at the place. There's a deer park in town. Getting around town is really easy. It's a cycling town and everybody rides bikes or walks. The public transport is great, and also these scooters are available to hire everywhere, all over the place, through an app. So you can pick them up really cheap and ride them to places like the local pub. There are quite a lot of pubs. Also markets. There's quite a lot of markets. This one is called the Covered Market and it's been operating for 250 years. There's been formal teaching at Oxford for nearly 1,000 years. This is Trinity College, one of the 40-odd colleges that make up Oxford University. They have generated over 70 Nobel Prize winners, over 30 UK Prime Ministers and over 160 Olympic medals. 2 colleges for women were opened in 1878, but Oxford didn't grant women degrees until 1927, and most colleges didn't allow women until 1979. For 3 years, ending in 1907, women who had passed degree levels exams at Oxford and Cambridge were taken by steamboat to Trinity College, Dublin, to be granted a degree. They called them the Steamboat Ladies. 720 women took advantage. This is the Radcliffe camera, built in 1737 as a library, but now it's a reading room for students. It was built round to allow natural light in at any time because they didn't want to allow candles in so that it didn't burn down. Tolkien remarked that it resembles Sauron's temple at Morgoth. This is one of my favourites. It's called the Bridge of Sighs. I thought there was only 3. I've been to the one in Venice and I've been to this one, and so I was just Googling to find out where the other one was, and it turns out that there's a bunch of them around Europe, so it looks like I've got a new trip that I can take. One of the most important things about this particular Bridge of Sighs is that it leads down this alley, which is actually really important because it takes you down to St Helens Passage, I think it's called. Yes, it is. And that leads you to the turf. A good walk in the Botanic Garden is a really great idea. It's so much slower and less people and a really lovely, peaceful place to be. It's the oldest scientific garden in the world. It was founded in 1621 as a physic garden, which was a way to grow medicinal plants, and it was founded by the first Earl of Danby. Lewis Carroll and Alice Liddell, the girl who was inspiration for Alice's adventures in Wonderland, both used to spend time here. That's Tom Tower, with the bell Great Tom the Door Closer inside. It rings 101 times at 9:05 Oxford time to correspond with 9 p.m. Greenwich time. It's the signal to lock all the college gates. There are a million other things that you can do in Oxford, so have a look at these short clips to get some inspiration. I have just paid the balance on the van, and I've organised with a travel agent to get to Hoogeveen to pick it up. So it is looking suspiciously like in under a week I am going to be picking up my van. I pull a lot of stupid faces when I take videos. I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. If you want to know what the story is with the van, click on this video here.